maybe lack of support, especially now here in diaspora, as we come, like you came alone here, you didn't come with your family, you feel alone, maybe you don't have friends, and you feel isolated, and also you don't have support from other members, family members, friends. It can also lead to depression.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Tambua Media. It's your girl Vivianne and with my co-host
Lai, welcome back, and today we are still doing with the mental health topic. So last time we talked a lot about mental health, and we are still on the piece into pieces topic, and today we are going to talk more about depression. So Vivianne, so can you tell us more about depression, maybe the symptoms?
Depression is basically a mood disorder, and when we talk about a mood disorder, it doesn't mean like today I'm kind of sad and I have depression. That's the typical thing, the way people say, I'm depressed, my car broke down, so I have depression. So it does have different levels. So it's basically a mood disorder, and there are certain symptoms where you can really notice like you do have depression, so that you don't confuse it with something, I have a bad day, I slept in bed and I'm depressed. So that's not basically it. It's practically, for a prolonged period of time when you really feel low, like you don't get out of bed, you feel really sad. And again, you have to notice like when you're feeling sad, maybe you lost someone in the family, so you're grieving. It's normal to grieve for a specific period of time, but when it's prolonged, then there's a problem. Then you can, probably see a doctor for them to decide if it's clinically categorized as depression. So we do have that, area or space where you have to really kind of just know if it's a prolonged period of time, that's depression. If it's not, then it's just, normal day-to-day life, feelings, and it's typically normal. I don't know how that plays probably here in Europe, or maybe in the diaspora, or maybe in the family settings. Maybe you can give us 1-2 examples about that.
So as you have said about depression is more about the mood disorder, for sure. And I think how you do notice like there's some changes, or someone has depression through the mood disorder, a lot of things change, like day-to-day activities, especially like the day-to-day routine changes. Someone now starts like either sleeping less, have a sleeping problem, or someone is sleeping too much, or about eating, someone is eating less, or someone is eating too much, and also like loss of energy. You notice someone doesn't have the energy, doesn't have interest in doing also activities like hobbies. And I can also say about also someone thinking about harming themselves, like suicidal thoughts, or being irritated. Like something small just annoys you, you are aggressive, you are arrogant, such things. And that's how maybe someone who you are close to, you see there are a lot of changes. And I think that's how you also get to know someone has a problem. So I think those are the symptoms.
You touched on a very important point, like being very tired. So like to just elaborate that a little bit, being fatigued is one of the things which are kind of overlooked, because we do have daily life events. We go to work, school, some of us are mothers, So we need to know the difference. Like being fatigued is like when you're really chronically tired, you know, and you just cannot get out of bed, and it's on a consequent basis. Like it's prolonged, maybe for a week or 2 weeks, you don't go to take a shower. So then, you know, I think it's really chronic. That's why then you have to seek a specialist, of course. Yeah. And just to touch down a little bit, I know we talked about this in episode 2, and the types of depression you mentioned postpartum. Are there any other types of depression which you can highlight for us?
Yeah, there are more type, because depression also is biological. Like it can be from the family. You can also get it through that. There's also bipolar. Bipolar normally is under mental health, but someone who is under bipolar can have depression. You know, because bipolar is a mental health sickness, but it leads also to depression. Yeah. So there are many types of depression, but I'm not an expert, so I'm not. I don't know all of types of depression, but more I can say on postmortem. That is the depression you get through pregnancy after giving birth, and that is what I have experienced from. That is what I had myself. I've gone through it when I gave birth to my first child, and so that I know more about that. And actually, it's just most of it is just the same symptom. Like you are tired, you are aggressive, you have mood swings, like you don't have energy, you're not interested in doing activities that you love, and it also affects your eating, like your appetite, your sleep. All it's just the same symptoms, I think. So yeah, so that's what I think. Those are the main symptoms of depression. So if you get to know someone who you are close to, a friend, a family, a colleague, and you see such changes, then you know someone is going through something. And I would say maybe it's good to try talk to the person and know what is going on, and try and find a solution how you can help the person. Yeah.
You really touched on an important point about fatigue and lack of sleep. So that takes us probably to a topic, or maybe to a subtopic, like the causes of depression, like stressful life event, the loss of a loved one. We did touch on about that in our last episode. And what do you think? What are other causes of depression?
Yeah, I can add on that part of the about the stressful life events. And as you have said, it can be loss of a family member. It can also be trauma. Maybe the person is suffering from trauma from things that happened before. Maybe the person is a child, and it has affected that person till date, that it traumatizes the person. That can be also a cause of depression. And also maybe lack of support, or isolation. Someone feels lonely, especially now here in diaspora, as we come, like you came alone here, you didn't come with your family, so maybe you feel alone, maybe you don't have friends, and you feel isolated, and also you don't have support from other members, family members, friends. It can also lead to depression. And also it can be also from divorce. Maybe you had a partner and things happened and it led to divorce. And also, divorce is a very sensitive thing, and it can lead also to depression if you don't have support system from family, friends. And so I would say those are also parts of the causes. Yeah, and maybe we have more, I don't know, causes.
Yeah, when I think about depression, I think genetics plays a big part in that. Especially if you come of a lineage or probably one of your closest, let me say, first family member, probably a parent or maybe a grandparent, suffered from depression, the probability of you or anyone in your family could have depression genetically, because it's also a genetic disorder, is very high. Chances are that maybe, it's hereditary, probably a high, but the literature says it's like a 7% likability. So I'm not an expert about that, but genetics does play a very, very big role in that. And I also do think some medications are also causes. Probably if you're having like chronic pain, and you do have or you're under medication and you get some really strong drugs, they do have, side effects, and it can really derail you, put you really in depression. So probably those are the main causes, I would say, or think about when we talk about depression. Specific medical conditions could also be a part of, a cause, depending on what that is. Assuming we have something like let's say diabetes. Diabetes part 2 is also one of the conditions a lot of people are suffering from, not only here, but also in Africa. You having that condition, it does just change your physiology in a specific way. And assume like, you used to be very, thin and you looked good, but now because of diabetes and the insulin levels are kind of just up high in your body changes. So you're not feeling comfortable in your skin could also, lead to slowly to depression, probably. So those are just the examples I do have.
Yeah, that's right. I think, about medical is also, plays a bigger part. If someone has a chronic disease, and this disease, it's like changing you physically, mentally, of course, it can cause depression. That's for sure. Yeah, so like we said, mental health is a wide topic, and there's a lot in it. So yeah, I think we've talked more about depression. I don't know if we're gonna wrap it up for today with depression. Maybe we can talk later about solutions, what people can help with if you have depression, and what do we have? What is there to offer as a solution? So I think we're gonna wrap it up for today, and we meet for the next episode, talking more about the solution and maybe other things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay then, guys, see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.